We are live in Studio B on a Friday. This is your day-to-day BYU Sports play-by-play. I'm Spencer Linton, teamed up alongside Dave McCann. Joining us now over Zoom is our good friend and one of the best to ever do it at BYU at the quarterback position. Now he is the second-year player for the New York Jets because he's successfully traversed through his rookie season. Zach Wilson is with us on the show. Zach, great to have you here. Welcome back to BYU Sports Nation after a wild rookie year.
Yeah, wild year for sure. It's good to be back and see you guys.
Let's talk about it, man. How would you evaluate your first season as an NFL quarterback?
Yeah, all the ups and downs, the emotions of it all, and the learning experiences, the stress, the fun, it was a little bit of everything. But I really did enjoy it. I really do enjoy it out there in New Jersey, New York, the whole environment, the fan base, my coaches, my teammates. I really do enjoy it out there a lot.
Zach, who hit you the hardest? And after you got hit, what were you thinking?
I would honestly say the hardest hit I took all year was probably week 1 against Carolina. I took a sack. They wrapped 2 guys right up the A-gaps. I should have thrown the ball, held onto it, and I just, I got smashed. I can't even remember who it was, but one of those big D linemen they got up front.
Now, those are the hard lessons that come along with transitioning into the NFL, but let's discuss what the best thing you learned in your first season was. What would you say is at the top of the list of lessons learned?
Yeah, one I would say was just simplifying. How can I simplify my thoughts? I think when I first got there, it was like, now that I'm an NFL quarterback, I need to know so much more about the game. And I do, and I do think that's part of it. But once you get out on the field, it's how can I just have very few thoughts to be, very efficient in understanding what I'm seeing and what I'm doing. And you're able to just play more comfortable and able to just get into more of a rhythm and just play like yourself. So I think simplifying was a big one for me.
Let's talk about these meet and greets after the game. And we've shown pictures on this show of you with Tom Brady and with Taysom and all the quarterbacks you've come face-to-face with. Many of those you grew up watching, and now you're their equal, so to speak, from the other side. What are those like? What do you talk about? And like Tom Brady, when you go up to Tom Brady and before you were in elementary school, he was playing in the league, and now you're playing him and you had him beat till late in the fourth quarter. What is that conversation like?
Yeah, it's interesting. Not even just the conversation, but I think, like the pregame warm-ups of, going out there and just seeing like, me playing for the Jets against the Bucs doesn't feel like the same Bucs I was watching on TV or like the Patriots, the whole thing just, it's weird, and I'm like, partway through the game and I look across and I'm like, this is crazy. That's Gronk and that's Tom Brady and Mike Evans and AB, all the different guys over there. And it's an interesting thing because, it really is, I don't know if the reality of it is really like set in yet. It's kind of crazy to like think about, but I really am enjoying it.
When you and Taysom met up for just a couple of minutes after that ball game late in the season, obviously that game probably meant more to Cougar Nation than any game in the history of the NFL. What did you guys talk about? I know you just had a few seconds together.
Yeah, it was huge for BYU. Kind of like what you said. I was expecting the whole stadium to be full of blue. Having 2 BYU quarterbacks back in there. But we kind of just exchanged, back and forth, just wishing each other best of luck and, kind of how we're doing with the whole process and just being in the NFL and the NFL game and adjusting and, kind of how he's doing and all that. And, that was pretty much it. So it's kind of good to, just catch up for a little bit.
New York Jets quarterback Zach Wilson is with us on BYU Sports Nation. Zach, midway through the season, essentially, your quarterback's coach and friend John Beck joined the staff in New York. What kind of a difference did that make for you in kind of your day-to-day preparation and helping you get better over the course of the season?
Yeah, it was huge. Having John out there was awesome. It was everything I could have hoped for. I appreciate the Jets for allowing that to happen. And, the cool thing was I didn't want John to just be another voice in the quarterback room, saying the same kind of thing. I wanted him to, approach it kind of how I was, sit and listen and don't say anything the whole quarterback meeting and just kind of take it all in. And then, we got to spend time outside of the facility, whether it was in the film room or out on the field, kind of talking about things, how I should approach things, the mental side of the game. And then physically, of course, of, how I can fix a certain throw that I missed or my footwork or, just being comfortable with it. He definitely helped in that aspect. It was great to have him out there.
Now, John's a pretty low key guy. So did you adequately institute him in the New York culture and raise his swag by doing so?
No, John was still John. He's a good dude.
I figured as much.
Yeah, you played at Corner Canyon, and you had a good time the whole time. And you played here at BYU, and you laughed, you won. It looked like you're having the time of your life with your friends. And then you go play for the Jets, which is now your job. So what is the difference between playing for fun and love of the game and your job, and how do you merge both worlds?
Yeah, I mean, first I would say that you can definitely see the business side of it, how it works. And, it's really crazy. Every single week there's new guys in the locker room. You don't feel like it's the same. Every single week we have different guys playing, different guys thrown in there, money decisions and things that go around. And it truly does feel like a job from that point. But once it comes down to the game and kind of the things we're all going through and, kind of having each other's back, it really is the same as it's been my whole life. I really do enjoy it. And the best part is I don't have to go to school. So, I sit at home sometimes and I'm like, you know what, this is awesome. I get to play football for a living. And, I can go hang out with the boys, watch tape. Like, it's exactly what I want to do. And I don't have to go home and do homework. So.
Yeah, no kidding. That might be the greatest celebration of all.
Yeah.
And I mean, Dave and I, in our own right, in our jobs, we're glad that we don't have to take finals and do homework as well. I loved watching your relationship with your head coach Robert Saleh develop over the year. But from your perspective, how would you explain what that relationship is like right now?
Yeah, I just think he's an awesome dude. I mean, he understands, I think what it takes to be a good winning football team, the culture that he set. He really gets to know his players down to a personal level, I think, which is the way to do it. And, I think since day one, you can kind of see, the foundation that he set and what he's trying to do as a team. And that's why I have so much respect for him, is he's really doing it the right way. And guys really respect him and the whole coaching staff. So I really do think we have a good group in there. And I'm excited to just keep working with them, especially with Coach Saleh, because, I was pretty much his draft pick, which is cool. So me and him are hand in hand as far as just, being a part of this team and making it work together.
Now, Zach, I read the New York Post this week, and I'm not quite sure how to ask this question, so I'm going to dance around it a little bit. But it had everything to do with your personal life and nothing to do with football. And so my question for you is, how different is the world you're now living in compared to last year when the New York Post is writing stories about whether or not you've erased pictures from your Instagram account of someone you might be dating? It's an example of the world you're in. Describe this world that you're in.
Yeah, it's definitely different. I guess I kind of expected that, but when you're at this level, everyone tries to analyze kind of everything you do in life. And, it's really part of it, and it's a good thing for me to have to, understand how to handle everything and handling my business the right way. And, just always making sure I'm doing things the right way. But as far as that goes, I mean, it's just going to be part of the job. And you kind of just got to, just move on and just kind of ignore it. But, I guess it means you're doing something when people are talking.
I guess it initiates you into being a big-time sports personality in a big city, I guess. You'd like it to be on touchdowns and victories, but I guess this is just part of being in the big time, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's part of being in that New York market, and it definitely has its pros for sure, along with the cons. But I do think in the long run that it is a good thing.
Zach, at this point, January 14th today, you've got roughly 6 or 7 months before things really get cooking again and we get back to training camps and football begins in full again. But that doesn't mean that your offseason doesn't include a lot of football. So walk us through your calendar, a little bit of vacation time, and then when do you get back to work and where are you going to be working?
Yeah, so I'll be in Utah for the next month or so, hanging out with the family, relaxing, getting back into training this next week. I've kind of, tried to get the soreness off from that past game, still kind of feeling it. So I'm trying to wait till that, kind of goes away. And then I'm going to go out to Miami for a little bit, probably California, maybe a little bit of Arizona as well. I'm really trying to find, if it's not Utah, where do I want to live someday, buy a house, hopefully somewhere with warm weather. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. And then mid-April, we go back to New Jersey. And, I'll move back into my place. We'll be there for about 2 months. We start off-season workouts. So we'll do, about 4 weeks of just lifting and running. And then we'll do, I think, about 10 practices of OTAs, similar to spring ball. And then we get about 6 weeks off to go home. Some guys will vacation, whatever. And then the last week of July, we start back up for training camp. And really, you know, training camp in the NFL is a little bit different with preseason. It's about 2 weeks until the first preseason game, you know, so that was new for me. I felt like the season just came so fast once we got back. So, you know, I got to enjoy this time, enjoy the off season, but definitely get after it and make sure I'm ready by the time that last week of July comes around.
Zach, knowing what you know now based on the last 8 months, and if you were the BYU quarterback coach today, what would you be teaching Jaren Hall, Jacob Conover, and the guys in that room?
Yeah, I think one of the coolest lessons that I learned from my coaches, you know, something they harped on me for. And then also, you know, what really kind of did it for me was when we had joint practices with the Packers. Aaron Rodgers talked about it. You know, you see all the flashy plays, but he talked about reading with your feet, and that your feet are completely tied in your decision making and the timing within the play. You know, if you do a certain drop, you know, that first hitch needs to be taking you to progression 1 and the second one to your next. And it just keeps the rhythm and the play and the timing all sync together so that you're always on time and your feet are always in the ground and you're always able to make throws because you're balanced and you're set, you know? So that was one thing I think Coach A-Rod did a great job on, but that was something I always felt like if I was a quarterback coach, I would just really harp on it, you know, making sure that you simplify the game and you read with your feet, and the rest kind of takes care of itself.
Read with your feet. That's the advice for today.
I love it. We're passing it on to Jaren Hall right now. We're clipping that off.
Yeah.
We're sending to Jaren Hall right now. Zach, before you go, I do want to ask you about how much you're actually able to pay attention to BYU football, because you're so in the thick of everything in the NFL and preparation and film room. And I mean, your coach has said at times they had to tell you to go home. I know that. I mean, I talk to you. I know how you are. You're a football junkie. It's awesome. But how much are you able to pay attention to what your guys and your friends at BYU were doing in the mix of being an NFL quarterback?
I mean, we gotta stop with those 10:30 p.m. games for me back on the East Coast. I mean, I was maybe catching the first quarter before I was going to sleep. You know, I found out we beat Utah the next morning, actually, you know, and I wanted to stay up, but I was like, I got a game in the morning. I can't stay up till 2 a.m. watching this thing. So for one, we got to get that changed, but I always try to keep up with those guys and, you know, make sure I'm texting them, see how they're doing. And they had an awesome year. So I think it was a lot of fun, but I made sure that, you know, I tried to watch as many games as possible. I came to the game in Vegas, you know, against Arizona, and just trying to support my brother as well, you know, because my whole family is going to go right through BYU. So it's exciting.
Hey, Zach, for what it's worth, I know you have Corner Canyon connections, and there's some pretty good quarterbacks out there. We can't mention specific names, but if you want to put in a good word for BYU, feel free to do so, okay?
Yeah, he probably doesn't care what I have to say. We'll see.
Hey, I just like the fact you're back in Utah. You can go to Wendy's and eat whatever you want, and it won't show up in the New York Post.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. It might.
Zach, it's great to talk with you. Glad you're enjoying some family time back here in Utah. We wish you the best in your off-season training. Always a class act, and we'll talk to you again soon, man.
Yep. Appreciate you guys. Good to hear from you.
Got it. Zach Wilson, New York Jets rookie quarterback, now making his way into year number 2. 4-13, Dave. I still can't get over the fact that the Jets beat the number 1 seed in the AFC playoffs, the Titans. Like, the capability is there, right?
Right.
And I mean, my favorite highlight of the season.
Dead.
Yes.
They had them beat.
Yes. My favorite highlight of the season came in that game against the Titans when Zach rolled out to his right and just kind of pointed to Corey Davis like, hey, go deep.
Yeah.
And throws a dime 60 yards for a touchdown. They win that game. That was awesome.
More impressive over all of that stuff is that the representative Zach is a BYU, and wish him the best.